All right, what's up, guys? Give me 1 second. I'm just waiting for it to highlight the Instagram so I can go live. And yeah, here we go. All right, people. So it's your boy Spank Dog, aka Puffinstein, at YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You already know. BC Spank Dog at Instagram and Robert Lopez at Facebook. So let's get into it. First of all, I want to thank God for everything. You know, I also want to say that, God and politics are very sensitive topics. Normally I don't, I touch them, but I don't, I don't dive in full force because I don't want people to think I'm judgmental because that's really what a big part of it is you stating your outlook, your viewpoint, your beliefs, which God you worship, and it could be a problem quick, and while I'm taking care of a child with ultra special needs, I don't need no problem, you know. So when you guys see my show, it's really hip hop and sports based. And I'll repeat that. It's hip hop and sports based. When I say hip hop though, that covers a lot. When I say sports, it covers a lot. But it don't stop there because I'm not just covering the music, I make the music. What a lot of guys don't know about me is that when I was making beats, and I'm gonna lay my next song down to one of my original compositions, and I have a feeling you guys are gonna be like, like wow, like this dude wasn't playing, And I got a message from somebody not too long ago that watched my music video, The Energy, and the message literally stated, um I can't believe it's 2024 and this is the first time I'm hearing this. Those are the things that keep me going as far as writing rhymes, making beats, but I have a little collection that a lot of people haven't heard yet, so I'm not really thirsty to make new music yet. And the crazy thing is I still have like 5 or 6 songs that I haven't even showcased to you guys yet. I've given you My Autistic Child, Where Your Heart At, Golden Heart, Lisa Lopez, I'm Revolutionary, The Energy, that, SHIT, Glory Road, what else is there? There's a one, the Trials, forgive me for I got lazy on Trials. So, but Trials is actually great, except for the footage, and that's not the guy who shot its fault. That's my fault for not wanting to leave the house that day, and we just shot it in the crib real quick. But in Trials, I say, oh man, this life stuff is messing with me. I say curse words. If you ever hear something and it's like messing with me, I say effing with me, but I'm not gonna be vulgar because I care about my channel. Because listen, people, don't mess up your channel. Don't mess up your shot with YouTube. Don't make it to the point where they're doing facial recognition to try to make sure you don't get on. They're checking IP addresses and making sure that it's not coming from that IP address to make sure you don't ever get on their platform again. Now, I'm not saying sweat them like that. People, if it's listen, If they getting at you over the wrong reason and you want to stand your ground, that's respectable. I wouldn't lower my morals for anything, you know. Not how you call it. Not if I'm aware. There's times where people are blind, they don't notice stuff and they make mistakes, you know. But oh man, I lost my train of thought. So, but anyway, the we was talking about the music. So, but I told you to forgive me about the trials I shot it in the house that day because I was lazy, and then I went on to something else. But I don't get stuck on losing my train of thought neither. You know what I'm saying? So, but um, I'm just keep going. The 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 title of the stream is God, Politics, Wealth, Love, and a true story, a bonus true story of a beef I got into 25 years ago when I was on the block. That's the title. Now, oh, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna give you the words to the trials because the video is not. That's my worst video. You know, if like because I also gave you guys the 3 quarantine videos. But the quarantine videos were shot bootleg on purpose because we were all locked in our houses because of the pandemic. So, well, we were told to stay that it was best to stay in the house. It was mandatory at times. So, in the trials, people might not gravitate towards it if they notice that the video quality is not the greatest. Glory Road was different. Glory Road not only, well, you got to also remember too, the trials was my first edit. So Glory Road was my second edit, and I said I'm not gonna settle for 15-20 second long clips instead of doing it the right way. You're only supposed to give a few seconds, of each clip, and sometimes you could let it play for a second or two longer. It depends too who's editing, what their style is. You know what I'm saying? But most editors give you a quick glimpse of a shot of a video footage, a little 5-4 second clip of a piece of video footage, and then they go to the next piece of video footage, and they usually shoot it theme oriented, so they would have the proper footage for whatever the person is saying in their rhyme at that moment. But what I was saying is that I refrain from being vulgar because first of all, because God gave me the smarts to be articulate enough to not hang on any word, so I could live without vulgarity and I could live without ebonics. But I choose. That's my style. That's how I feel. So I don't go against whatever I am, and I do. If I think things are wrong, I'll change them. But I'm not gonna. I diddy bop down the block, and I'm not gonna stop because I've been diddy bopping since I was like 7 years old. You know what I'm saying? And just because people don't understand it or whatever, I'm still gonna walk with my swag. You know what I'm saying? But then there's things because that don't affect nobody. You get what I'm saying? That's my style. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not hurting nobody. Now, if I notice that I did something that caused a person, and check this out, not just physical pain, emotional pain, mental anguish, what's the other one? It's emotional abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse. I think those are the 3. But if I know that I hurt you in any of those ways, I'm, gonna try to switch up, what I do to not hurt people. But that depends also. If you're being hurt over stuff that you shouldn't let bother you, then I'm not changing nothing, you know. So, but in the trials, I go, oh man, this life stuff is messing with me. I can't understand the trials that he's throwing at me. Was unleashed on the earth, a wolf from the sty. I stay asking why, I stay hard inside. I said, Pops told me let it go. I'm talking about a punch. I said, my pops told me let it go when a bully walks inside, because my father owned a store, and I used to come in the store and be like, yo, Pops, you know, a kid is acting up. And he would literally be on some like, don't let nobody mess with you. If he comes in the store and he's acting up and you gotta do what you gotta do, go ahead. And he's like, I don't want you being bullied. I want you to stand up for yourself, you know. So I said, was unleashed on the earth, a wolf from the sky. I stay asking why, I stay hard inside. Pops told me let it go. When a bully walks inside, I'd punch him in the eye and then I'd take it outside. I would literally be fighting in front of my father's store. I said, I was 7 then, now I'm 33. I wrote this rhyme a while ago. Now I said now I'm 30. I forgot what I said. Is it 43? I wrote the rhyme at least 5 years ago or better. I said, I was 7 then, now I'm 43. Age is just a number, it means nothing to me. I'll rap until I die, it's embedded in my soul. Strike on you like I bowl, moving like I'm Riddick Bowe. I said Brooklyn's in my heart, I'm still effing with Queens. Translate what it means, I'll make a brother lean. I'm starving like a fiend, I got a solid team. Evil is the green, that's me talking about money being evil. I said evil is the green, it's not what it seems. I do it for the love, it is what it was. Like that's me just playing with words. Instead of it is what it is, I said it is what it was. I said I'm golden like a glove. Um, I'm golden like a glove. I'm fly like a dove. Yeah. I said a buzzard catch a buzz. He still grind me like some sludge. Don't mess with corny brothers. Um, but anyway, you understand what I'm saying? Like I was taught to defend myself. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is especially listen, my pops passed away when I was young. You know, not super young, but young where I still needed guidance. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he explained to me to defend myself, but he didn't explain to me that I couldn't misinterpret stuff that isn't even worthy of getting angry or fighting, you know, because remember he wasn't with me long. I never really got a chance to show my pops how good I was at certain things. You know, your boy is a monster at basketball. You know, brothers know, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I was gunning in the park. I was out there launching. Like they used to hit me with the ball up top, and in the park we played at, you didn't have to pass it when it was full court. You know, like when we played 3-on-3, you would have to at least pass it once before you could shoot. But when we would play full court, the first person you checked it to, the ball was live. I would just shoot that sometimes, and it's really like people didn't expect it because a lot of people, when they handed the ball up top, it was almost like they felt the necessity to pass it once. I didn't. If you passed it to me when the ball was live and I was open up top at the top of the key by the 3-point line, I would shoot and it would drop a lot to the point where when they checked it to me, they would be like, D up on them. And I know certain people got to remember this. You get what I'm saying? I remember doing a trick, right, to one of the park legends. You know, there were few park legends. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Sam. Big shout out to Dave. Big shout out to Eli. You know, rest in peace, Jimmy Winkler. Big shout out to to little Jonathan, and there were others, you know what I'm saying? If I missed your name, that don't mean that I didn't see you play and think you were nice. I remember when Minor used to come up to 93. Little Minor. Minor was the first person that did a move to me that I thought the ball disappeared. You know what I mean? I'm like, what did you do? But that's when I started learning how to do like N1 mixtape type stuff. And then I also had a friend, and you guys are gonna probably not believe this, but I had a partner that was maybe the greatest dribbler I've ever seen in my life, including the ones I've seen on TV. Yeah, the Jordan of dribbling. You know, any end game came with that, because at first I thought that it would be him just being a genius with the dribbling, but as his body grew into an adult, he started, knocking down jump shots, finishing layups, and he was becoming one of the best people in the park. When we played in the tournament, he played on the blue team in Madison Park. We played in the Madison Park tournament. I was on the white team. He was on the blue team. He was averaging like 29 points a game. Him and Jonathan, little Jonathan, may he rest in peace. People don't really know how I could hoop out. You know what I'm saying? And I started late. I played baseball first. I can't just hoop out. I could play baseball and football crazy. I'm also very humble, as you can see. All right. So, but in the title it says save the best for last. So love is last and God is first. So don't I didn't realize it till I. Oh no, I didn't say save the best for last. All right, cool. I had it like that. I changed it. I didn't want people to jump on me and like, you're supposed to say the best is God and love isn't better than God. And I'm like, oh my God, are we really arguing about if I should have put love of God as the most important? Like, we're not doing that. So but anyway, love to me and God probably like a tie. God is almighty, you know what I'm saying? If you believe in him, there are atheists out there. And guess what, atheists? I got no problem with you. Not at all. I don't got any problems with any Buddhists, any Muslims, any Catholics, any Christians, and the list goes on, because I'm gonna do this. I don't always look stuff up while I'm active, but I'm gonna do this because it's important. This is for you guys to understand that if we got mad at each other over not being on the same page with who we worship, I'm gonna show you how many different religions there are. How many different religions exist in the world? Oh wait, hold on a second, because you know what too? I got the thing on board. I don't know if it works. Hold on. I got my I don't know what you would even call it. It's the mixing board that came with my microphone. It has sound effects. Oh come on, please work. I don't hear nothing. I don't know if you guys heard something. I just pressed the button. So, but anyway, let me see some. I'm gonna put all the knobs at like the equal level, and the mixer, I'm putting it in the middle. All right. It is what it is. I'm gonna press something else real quick. Electric applause. I can't tell if you guys heard something, but let me know if you hear anything. So but all right, it didn't pick up. Watch, I'm gonna type it in. How many religions are there? That's perfect. All right, guys. All right, now guys, I really don't know if you knew this. I doubt you did. There's over 10,000 religions, according to Google. I just Googled how many religions are there, and it said 10,000 roughly. Wow. So, but like, I don't understand why there's so many problems over who you worship. And I don't understand how people think that the Almighty, whoever you see as the Almighty, I don't understand why you think the person you worship or the entity you worship or the God you worship would want you to be mad at another soul because they believe in another entity to be the Almighty, you know. And I'm touching on God first because it's in the title. So I don't want to stray from the title no more. I'll be wilding. Like I'll put a title and it'll be a two-part title. Like I want to hit one topic, then the next topic. I'll just hit the one topic and forget that in the title I put that I was gonna talk about something else, and I never get to it. But we're not doing that no more. As I started to get better with the podcasting, Spank Dog's Man Cave became a better place. Basement Click is literally a group of us that used to hang with each other on Gates Avenue. But you guys got to understand something. When a lot of people hear Gates, they think Brooklyn, because a large portion of the avenue is in Brooklyn. And I lived on Putnam and Ralph, so Putnam's 4 blocks away, so I did live only 4 blocks away from Gates in Brooklyn at one time, but I literally lived on Gates in Queens at one time. Now, when I talk to you about Gates, I'm talking to you about the one in Queens, not the one in Brooklyn. Even though I was really close to Gates, and there are people that are from Gates and Ralph, Gates and Howard, Gates and Patchen that knew my father, and that probably I even know that went to 308 and 309 with me. You know what I'm saying? But like when I talk about Gates, I lived at 1880 Gates, and that's when I really was being a kid, at my wildest as a youth. You know what I'm saying? So but anyway, I said something about politics earlier too. But I don't even want to move on to that yet. I'm gonna stick on the God topic for a second. All right, so I was baptized. I didn't make my communion, but they had me in Catholic school. So I didn't make my communion. There's another one, the confirmation after that. I didn't make either. My bro made his communion and he didn't get to make his confirmation. So but I've always felt like too many things are perfectly connected, fit like a puzzle piece, too perfectly for it to be coincidence. How we need water to live and it's in abundance. How in order to make babies, you and a woman come together, like you interlock. You get what I'm saying? Like it's just too many things. I mean, really, like if I went on with coincidences, as far as like it looking like a design, like a puzzle, like things like snap in perfectly, we'd be here forever. It rains, we need water. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and it just keeps going. So I'm not gonna bother listing off more things that are kind of like too perfect to be a coinky dink. You get what I'm saying? I believe we were created, and I'll leave it at that. I talk to whoever I believe created me every now and then. We'll call him God. And um when I'm starting to get confused, frustrated, I'll speak not to myself, to the entity that I believe put this together. And I'll ask for help. I'll ask for blessings for other people, so on and so forth. But there's one thing that is in the title, and it conflicts with God more than any of the other things, and that's wealth. So we're gonna move on to wealth. We're gonna get to the politics after wealth. All right. So now, in contrast to me speaking about God, let's talk about money. When you mess up, when you make a mistake, a lot of times when people are asking God's forgiveness, if they believe in a higher power, and even atheists, to them they might not be talking to an entity, but they'll say, "Man, I messed up." But usually, whether you're an atheist just saying, "Man, I messed up," or you're a spiritual person that believes in a higher power and is asking for forgiveness, a lot of times it's over that almighty buck, the almighty dollar. Oh wow. Like people don't I see people a lot in music glorifying money. This is the real crazy stuff, right? About 20 years ago, I noticed that trend, right? I seen, listen, I consider myself intelligent. That's it. We ain't going no further than I'm super intelligent. I'm medium intelligent. My IQ is 128. I'm not doing none of that. I'm just saying I think I'm intelligent. You know what I'm saying? And I've been seeing what money has been doing to this world for ages. So about 20 years ago, 25 years ago, maybe this was an earlier rhyme. This was before, some of the earlier stuff. This is a 27-year-old rhyme that I'm talking about. And I'm not going to kick it. I'm just saying that I wrote a rhyme. I wrote 2 verses. It was a song. And it was called I Have a Hate for the Dough. And I remember a little bit of it. And it says I have a hate for the dough. Some people just don't know, and then I go into a whole rant about how money makes people lose their mind, and you already know where I'm going with that. So, but it was just different. It was how could I say this? It was puzzling to me that while all these people were writing rhymes about loving money, I was writing a rhyme about hating money. And this is the real stuff. I got the old music. I've if you look at my channel, there's 1 or 2 videos where I mention that I'm born straight wild. Yeah, I have a video up on YouTube, I believe. Yeah, because I put everything on YouTube, but every now and then I'll post something on Facebook, and I don't know if I posted on YouTube, but I think the Born Straight Wild 20-something-year-old song is on the page. You could type in Born Straight Wild Puffinstein. I don't know if it's gonna come up. I believe it will. And I talk about how everything is crazy and how people are I talk about how when my pops passed, we were drowning, and I hit on a lot of stuff. I'm gonna reintroduce a couple of the old songs while I make new songs. I'm just waiting for it to get a little warmer, And to be honest with you, I'm not waiting. I'm gonna start making phone calls starting after this live, and I'm gonna start putting things into motion. So Glory stuff like Glory Road, which is my baby. Glory Road. I mean, I have other babies in the Lisa. The funny thing is, I'm not saying this because that's my wife, that's my lady, but Lisa Lopez. I love that one. You know, I love her in real life, and I love the song I made about her. And we're gonna make it's our 25th anniversary in June, guys. Mess around. I might have to throw a little party on the low. You know, I doubt she'll hear this because she'd be busy. She watches some of my stuff and listens to some of my stuff, but intricately, like to the point where she heard every nook and cranny, every sentence in a podcast. I doubt it. She ain't gonna hear this, and unless she's in the other room hearing it right now, because right now she got my son over there so that he don't raid the podcast. So and all right, look, I'm gonna wrap up the wealth thing too because you guys know rooted money is the root of all evil. Most of you do. And the person who's wielding the finances, the wealth, it has to do with what type of stuff they're on too, where their mind is at. I keep telling people, if you take money and give it to a person that is overflowing with money. Now, I'm not talking about if he worked for it. If a person deserves what he works for, whether we live in a capitalist society or not, and it's not perfect, listen, man, if the person works, whatever the wage is promised, he should receive. That's not my problem. My problem is right now, it seems like they're gonna, like when we tax, they take the money and put it towards stuff that they're supposed to be fixing up and making the world a better place. Taxes are to make the world a better place. If you live in the country and they tax you, it's to at least make the country a better place, right? So, but my thing is, and this is all, I'm not certain about it being factual. Well, actually, I did watch something, and it showed in the debate where the lady, she's a politician. So this is coming out a politician's mouth in the presidential debates, talking about that Trump is gonna wild out with the bread when we get into when he gets into office. So look, my thing is is people who are living in abundance should be content. People that are drowning need help. Now you could get into the whole, oh, but did he put himself to drown? I'm not on that wavelength. That's when me and you hit a stalemate. I keep trying to explain to people, we are a society, people they're gonna role play, right? And not purposely. They're gonna fall into their role. It's not easy to do mind over matter, people. I mean, for some people it's easy, but you gotta understand the person that you're looking at is not a clone of you. Their mind over matter might not be as easy as it is for you. And you'll say, oh, they're not serious, that's why. Yeah, you're right. But they're the person that's not serious. It's in their character. Now, if you could snap them out of it and get them to understand that going for the gusto is the way to go, that's fine. But if that person is stuck in that way, I don't think that means that you shouldn't buy him a meal. I don't think that doesn't mean you shouldn't close up his wound if he needs stitches. But I don't want people to think that I'm okay with people violating people, because I see people run up in the stores and grab all that stuff, and in my head I'm like, that could be a person who just put his whole life savings into that store, and he just watched the mob run up in there and grab everything. I'm not okay with that, but I also come from the streets, and I know that crime is poverty driven. You know, so I'm not really torn because it's wrong, but I also understand that it's more to it than just, hey man, they're rotten, you know, throw them away in the cage and never let them out. First of all, it should be where everybody has. And I'm talking about bare necessities for the people that want to be not driven. I'm not talking about people that have mental health issues. Oh, another thing is that we need money to help the mental health crisis, because it's a crisis. A lot of these people need to be tended to. And you know what it is when you say, oh, he should be in a mental institution. Oh man, have you ever been in a mental institution? I don't think they're too um good to them in certain ones, if you get my drift. And that's speculation. But I've seen things that would lead me to believe that, when somebody has mental health issues, you saying put them in a mental institution is the answer. Not always. For people that can't help hearing voices to the point where they push somebody onto the train tracks, then that person, I believe, qualifies to be put in a mental institution. But also, that doesn't mean in the mental institution that they don't follow the rules, because then you got your COs and your people that run mental institutions, and they don't follow the rules. They don't care about policy. They think they're the king or queen of the mental facility, like they demonstrate in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. They try to demonstrate that Jack Nicholson, his character McMurphy, he's in there over petty crimes. No, matter of fact, to be honest with you, listen, guys. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Jack Nicholson is, I believe, his charges are statutory grape. So that is not kosher at all. I feel like it's different if it's like an old man doing it, like the whole the guy was 18 and the girl was 15, or the guy was 20 and the girl was 17. To me, that's different than some 40-year-old guy grooming a young girl. You know what I mean? And let me tell you something: the younger it gets, the more vicious it makes me. So like we could go from it in my head saying, that's whatever happened, that's his fault. He shouldn't have did that, and it's violation what he did. But then there's the guys that, because I try my hardest to be forgiving even to people that do wrong. But when I find out that somebody violated a child, oh man, it makes my temperature boil. Like yeah, I don't even want to talk about it because I care about my channel. And if I start like losing my mind about, a true Chester the, then that's even worse. That's like you hear about how you can't hack it if you get locked up and they find out that you did something to a kid. Yeah, I'm on that wavelength. You know what I'm saying? And it's real, But also, like I said, to the tough stuff, I'm not really trying to promote that on my channel. I do believe in people standing up for themselves and I do believe in punishment for people who hurt children. You know. But listen, guys, I'm gonna move on to the next topic. Wealth. Don't let the wealth blind you. Please, you know, be more generous. You know, I'll leave it at that with the wealth. All right, love. You know, I'm jumping over politics, but we're not gonna do it in an order. I'm gonna just go to love because my wife just brought me a plate of food, and you know, like I talked to my friend, and in the conversation, I said my wife just cooked for us. You know, when I said it to him, I realized how blessed I am, and I just wanted to shout my lady out. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry, guys. I'm not gonna do an album on her like Chance. Big shout out to Chance too, because you know, everybody has their own idea of what's art. So I don't got a problem with him making an album about a whole album dedicated to his wife, because I haven't heard it. So everybody that's saying that was his worst album, I want to hear the album now, because just because it's dedicated to his wife don't mean the beats ain't fire and that he don't spit fire on the 5 beats. But a lot of people said they didn't like it, but now I'm intrigued. So after this, I'll probably check out Chance the Rapper's album, the one that he dedicated to his lady, and see if I agree with what people were saying. But you know, I might not dedicate a whole album to her, but I did make a song about her. You know, and I got a portrait of my son's face on my arm. You know, I'm ready to get another portrait on the other arm of my lady. You know, um, I would say this, men and even women. You know, if you have a significant other and you could tell they really love you like that, you know, and there's attraction, you know, don't let that go. You know, two heads are better than one if you get along. I'm not talking about if you're using the Lockhorns. The Lockhorns used to be a comic strip in the Daily News or in the Newsday, and it was about a couple that was always fighting. It was called the Lockhorns. It was a one scene comic. It would just be one picture, and it would be a joke on the bottom. You know. So but yeah, man, my wife showed me what true love is. You know. You know, my parents and my father, my mother and my father too. You know, but man, I've my wife, I've never seen anybody go all out like that, you know, for the team. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, me, my wife, and my son are like the core immediate circle. And she leaves me speechless. Like, I really don't understand how a woman like her can love like that. The way she takes care of Jaden. You know, I take care of my son too, but I'm not gonna act like she don't leave me in the dust. You know, and I'm gonna say this because it's relevant. There's things that I leave her in the dust too, and it's a natural thing because it has to do with me being a man, and she don't like doing certain things. You know that I don't really care about. I actually like it because I'm a man, and it's a masculine thing. So she'll tell me, "Yo, would you do that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." And to her, it's like the biggest thing in the world. So, but yeah, um, one thing I'll tell you about my son, he's so rambunctious that it's hard for us to take him out unless it's in an automobile. You know, like I said, I've said this before. You know, he'll plop himself down on the floor. He's 15 years old, 6 feet tall, 200 and oh man, 260, 270, 6 foot. It's when he sits on the floor, you ain't getting him up unless he decides finally to get up. And then it could be just the park that's 3 blocks away. you know, and he'll prop himself, and we'll be like, "Oh man, like we thought it was only 3 blocks away. I didn't think something was gonna happen, but we managed." You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to let nothing keep me from making sure my child is right. He's been spoiled since he was young, and he's treated like a king to this very day, you know. But like he'll always be treated like a king. But I'm gonna have to put my foot down about us getting out there and getting some exercise. And it's not even really the exercise. He likes to run, but he likes to eat. And I mean eat to the point where if you tell him no, he'll have a tantrum, and he does his autism is severe enough where he don't understand that keeping his hands to himself. He don't understand that concept. The anger gets him. I seen him bite the pillow to keep from hitting a person. I see him, the rage that, it's different from that of a person who doesn't have the disorder. So like you got like special needs is exactly what it says. He has special needs. And if you're too ignorant to understand that his needs are special, then I don't want you nowhere around my child. I don't want you like that. That's the kind of person that could get me upset. A person that's ignorant and don't understand that there's certain concepts my son just cannot grasp. And then there's things that he could grasp, but the repetition has to, be introduced, because it's hard for him to the point where he has to do 1,000,000 reps for him to finally make it somewhat natural, you know. But the love part is we should all love each other. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to forgive certain people, but I seen the Tina Torres interview with Panda Chop the other day, and I was impressed with some of the stuff she said. Like it was, she was really impressive as far as like intelligence wise, But I know she lost people, but that's not her fault. Some people are ignorant. She didn't say anything during that interview that was too far fetched. But the minute people hear stuff like alternate dimensions and aliens, that you lose them, you know. So, but what she was saying is not. I'm not saying true or false. It's worth contemplating and thinking about what she's saying. Let what she says resonate first before you jump on her saying stuff that she didn't even say. Like you misinterpreted it, you know. And the one that I left for last was politics. Politics. Oh man, they're my least favorite out of the categories. Even the wealth I could stand to talk about more than the politics. I'm not gonna act like I sat down and studied every policy and then went to check to see, fact check if he was meeting his expectations of what the policy, the promises he made in the policy. And I just hear a bunch of that's when it starts to sound like the teacher from the Peanuts. Womp, 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 womp. Because it just sounds like a bunch of people that should be content crying. And it seems like, and this is what it seems like. You notice the keyword seems. It seems like the Democrats care more about the people that are messed up than the Republicans. That's it. That's just what it is. from my viewpoint. Now, do I think that there's Democrats that are just as rotten as some Republicans? Yeah, you know, like I said, there's good Republicans and bad Republicans. There's good Democrats and bad Democrats. When when it was like choose Biden or choose Trump, I'm really like choose neither. I'll say this: when Biden was how could I say this without like making you too mad at me? At one time, Biden was showing love and affection towards kids, and it was platonic, I believe. Like there was no creepy old man factor to it. I think it just came off a little bit like that. Even to me, it looked a little weird. But I think that he just might have like maybe didn't realize it might come off not looking right, and people jumped on him for it. That's not the same thing as talking about grabbing a lady by her hoo ha. We'll call it hoo ha for now. Her hoo ha. That's a different kind of animal, if you get my drift. Because we say animal about it's not technical animal, but to be honest with you, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. That particular quote or whatever, it doesn't sit well with me. If I would rather hear somebody say to grab a lady like that, or Biden just looking like maybe he shouldn't have been so friendly with the kids, but it was just purely him being friendly. Yeah, like I would take the latter of the two. You know, I don't appreciate people speaking about women like that. You know, especially since I'm a man who's been married to the same person for 25 years. You know, and I'm faithful for 25 years. You know. So, but the politics, man. The one thing is too is that like people catch feelings over politics like religion. So like when people hear me criticize Trump, all my people that voted for him wanna oh, so you like Biden? I don't like neither of them. I don't know them. I could like them. You know what I'm saying? Like people really act like they love Trump. How could you love a man that you've never been in his presence and he probably wouldn't allow you in his presence? And I'm not talking about walking by, shaking his hand while he's got 7 CIA secret agents or whatever guarding him. I'm talking about in his presence, like hanging with him. But then again, I don't know. I'm careful when I speculate because my speculation could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? All right, look, real quick, I'm gonna cover the bonus true story. I got into beef and I got into beef 25 years ago. All right. So y'all guys know that I love basketball, right? So this is, oh man, this is longer than 25 years ago. So anyway, yeah, this is before I was with my wife. This is I've been with her 25 years. This is 30 years ago. And so I'm not gonna mention no names and no blocks because we're gonna keep it official. Because I don't even, like I said, I don't really do the street resume thing, but I also don't want to be uptight. So I'm gonna give you one. This is probably one of the one times you're gonna hear a true story that's concerning beef, and I got a lot, quite a few, but I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna give you one. This is the first one that I've ever told you guys. I've probably like mentioned little things or whatever, but I never went from beginning to end with you guys with a full blown real story about how it got really, really ugly. All right, it was my fault too. The dudes we got into beef with, they were just holding it down. I was the bad guy in the situation. So I'm playing ball. Um, I lose. So the people that got next are ready to come on, and I'm so thirsty to play again. I'm so stressed out. Like I remember that day. Like I was so like I was, when you go to compete, put your vest on. So this way, if you lose in stride. You lose. You're a good loser. Nobody, nothing's worse than a sore loser, and that's what I was that day. And it was one of those times that it could have got bad. You know, really bad. It did get bad. Fights took place, multiple fights. So but anyway, jumpings, mobs, rolling up on mobs. You get what I mean? Like so. But anyway, um, when I lost and the next group went to go play, I try to say that because they weren't around while the game was being played. So I, in my sneaky little grimy, I did some grimy stuff. As much as I talk about grimy and real, I got on some grimy stuff, and it was me listening to the wrong shoulder. I was listening to the little demon on my shoulder instead of the angel on the other shoulder. So, um, I told them that I had next, and they're like, "Nah, we just seen you play." So I already know that it's a dead issue. So I start being a little bullyish, and I'm like, "Nah, I'm next." And that's when they started letting me know that you know, um, you need to keep it real, or there's gonna be problems. So one of them came in my face and says some stuff, giving me fair warning. If they weren't about it, then I wouldn't say fair warning, but they was giving me fair warning. And but I wasn't a pushover, even though I was like getting mad over the wrong thing. And I told him, yo, your son don't be coming in my face. And his man teed off on me and dropped me. So when I came to, some of my friends that I was with started fighting with them. And to make a long story short, we went home and we were all talking, and we were all like, it's not gonna be over because of how it went down. So they ended up getting at my bro one time because he went to the store, and they were gonna um light him up, but my friend was there, and they minimized what they were gonna do to him, thank God. And my brother just got out of there with getting roughed up. So now I'm feeling horrible because I opened up a big can of worms. So to make a long story short, um, my homie tells me I could talk to them if you want. So I kind of understood that I had to make it right, and I was like, "Yo, ask the one that dropped me if I could get the fade," and they granted me the fade. And when they rolled up to our block, we were deep. They were deeper. So they, at the beginning, it was looking like I wasn't gonna get a fair one. It was gonna be a rumble, and it looks like they were gonna win because they outnumbered us, and they brought dudes that looked like they could lift 300-400 pounds, bench press type stuff. So I started using my head, and I started saying to myself, if you step up to the plate and handle your business like a man, you'll save everybody. And not save them, but also kind of too, because let's say one of them hurts one of us too bad and they get locked up. Like, it was just best for everybody. So I said to one of the kids, because they were getting ready to pounce, and I'm like, let me and you get the fade. and luckily he accepted, and we thumped it out, and then my friend thumped it out with another one of them, and we squashed it. Now, I just ran into my man too that was involved, and I haven't seen him in a long time. I ordered food from Stop and Shop, and they brought it to my house, and the person that brought it was my man's brother. He's my man too. I love both of them, and I just called up my friend, and I hadn't talked to him in like 5 years, like less, like 2 years, 3 years, and that night after me and the kid fought, and the other kid fought my friend, it was two back-to-back fights, like it was a pay-per-view. They still wanted to see my man, the one that I talked to today. But I told the kid, I said it was my fault. I said I shouldn't have been thirsty because I'm a sore loser. I said don't let make it keep going. Let him slide, even though I know in your eyes he played himself. I'm like, leave it at what just happened and let's just end it. And I don't know if the guy will ever hear this or understand that I'm talking about him. But for the guy who, when I tried to take the next, dropped me, salute. And also, he was the one I spoke to about letting it die and not going after my friend that I talked to today. Again, salute. Big shout out to homie that I had the fair fight with. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it at that, y'all. Much love, man. It's your boy Spank Dog, man. I'm out of here.